Hi, my friends. It's Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer, and welcome to my series. We are talking about the pain and the pitfalls of loving each zodiac sign. And today we're going to talk about Cancer. And I am absolutely positive this video is going to hurt my Cancer's feelings and my Cancer's hearts. So please forgive me. I am talking about the undeveloped Cancer and why it might be difficult to fall madly in love with a Cancer, how they can hurt you, and how you can experience um, the the painful parts of loving a Cancer and loving a Cancer deeply. So if this is your love's sun, moon, or rising, Venus or Mars, or if your love has a lot of personal planets in the fourth house, this video is for you. Or if that's you, you can know how other people might receive you or might misunderstand you. Now, I am not talking in this series about the super evolved, the very enlightened Cancerian person. Also, I want to tell you, if you only have one planet like your sun or your rising in Cancer, you might relate to some of this, but not all of this. So I do want to put a big, fat, giant caveat on. I am talking about the shadow side. I'm talking about the undeveloped. I'm talking about the immature Cancerian. I've got a lot of them in my life. I have a lot of Cancer experiences, a lot more than just my family. And I want to tell you that I am really lucky that I'm involved with mostly healthy Cancers. But when Cancer goes wrong, it goes really wrong. So we're going to talk all about it. This is going to help you if you are a Cancer. This is going to help you grow and mature. If you're involved with a Cancer, this is going to help you navigate those tough waters that are probably um they probably feel impossible for you at times, but also, I want to tell you, you're not losing your mind. If you're involved with the Cancer and you feel emotionally manipulated, you're probably right. So let's dive in. I want you to also know this video is unedited. So you get me, bloopers and all. So bear with me, and here we go. Okay, first of all, I want to tell you that falling in love with the Cancer is like diving into the moonlit ocean without the jellyfish. And it is going to be deep and mysterious, and it's going to sort of be impossible to fully fathom all the goodness. Like it is just so sweet when it is very, very good. And they are tender with you. They just will let you hold them, and they make you feel so cherished like no one ever has. They take care of you, and their love and devotion just steeps down into the depths of your bone marrow. But loving a Cancer is also like a tidal wave, and the gentle sweetness and the caress, of one moment in time, you know, can have this like tidal wave tsunami of currents in the very next blink of an eye. And I'll tell you, I'm going to give you 10 of maybe the most, maybe even a little surprising reasons in why giving your heart to a Cancer can sometimes really, really hurt. So, also, I want to tell you, this is not the virtue video. The virtue video, if you want me to do it, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment and I'll do the virtue video. You can also go watch my video on falling madly in love with a Cancer. I give you the 10 seduction techniques on how to seduce your Cancer. So that would be a great video. You can just go to my Cancer playlist and you'll see I have a couple love videos on there. So you'll like it. So that will give you strategies and remedies on how to cure all of these pitfalls, right? So the first one I want to say, it's a double-edged sword, as it is with like everybody, right? Your vice can be your virtue. I would say it is their depth of feeling. And while Cancers, while that can be so rewarding, Cancers live in the realm of emotion. They are subjective, they are not objective, and they are ruled by the ever shifting moon. Remember, the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So what you get on Monday is not what you get on Wednesday. And when you love a Cancer, you're swept into that deep sea of feeling. It's intense. It's all consuming. Just like if you jumped into the ocean, it would consume all of you, right? And it is very overwhelming. So their emotions shift like the tide of the moon. It goes in and out, it wanes and waxes, pulling you in and pushing you away, and pulling you in and pushing you away at the same exact time. And that is exhausting when you're on the other side of that. They don't even know they're doing this. So if you could nicely tell them, are you pushing me away or pulling me in? Because I can't tell. Okay. You just hugged me, but you hugged me like you didn't mean it. So was that a hug? Was that an apology? Was that a hug? Was that fun? Right. The pain comes from you realizing that you're adrift, that you're floating on the waves that they're controlling. They're creating the emotions that are filling the air in this room. They have a tendency to literally create the emotional vibration of the party, of the event, of the dinner. They could eat an entire dinner and not talk to you, right? They're creating the emotional mood. It's almost like the music creates the mood, right? But it's their emotions create the mood. And this is difficult, dealing with their depth, and it's based on their feelings, not yours, theirs. And so their mood shifts like the tide, and you're just in it. You're not even, you're just on the joyride. You're in the past, you're in the shotgun seat. So if you want a more playful, funny, bright, sunny, extroverted, adventurous, touring the world, chasing new opportunities, Cancer's energy wants to plant deep roots, and they want to connect on an emotional level, good emotions, bad emotions. And they want deep emotional connections night after night after night after night, right? And they will create the emotion that they want to be in. That could be exhausting. That is riding their emotional wave is exhausting, especially if you are a Gemini or a Sagittarius or a Capricorn or an Aquarius and you're not in the emotions to the same degree that they are. It can be really, really, really exhausting. By the way, they don't even realize that they have all this power sometimes. Sometimes they are oblivious to this. Number two, they have a tough Cancerian shell. I am telling you right now, bring your ice pick to crack these people open. They feel so much and they reveal none of it. It's like mind boggling and baffling. It's almost like you're involved with two different people. So beneath this, they have this very nurturing expression. They like to pretend or act or actually be just very nurturing, all at the same time as they're being self-protected. So when they're hurt or they're threatened, they retreat into their shells, and they are used to living in there. So they have to remove their shell to show their feelings and their expression. And they will only do that when they choose to do that, not when you want that or need that. Like, hey, let's talk about it. Why? What do you want to talk about? Nope. Nope. They are going to control the emotional situation, and they are not going to take off their shell just because you say so. So they can very easily, I'm not kidding, it feels like, oh my God, it feels like an albatross. It feels like an armadillo. I'm not joking. The shell of an armadillo, the shell of a giant tortoise, the shell of a crab. They live inside of that thing, and they lock you out, and they keep the key on the inside. Yeah. So they retreat into their shells, and they will shut out the people that they love. You know who can get them out of their shell? Like the Girl Scout that knocks on the door and is selling the cookies. Oh, they'll be sweet as pie and you're so cute. And what kind of cookies do you have? They'll close the door and they'll go back into their shell, retreat. And I'll tell you, they do that for survival of their own emotions, but they do that as a payback. They do that for some sort of emotional payback. I know you guys are going to hate me. You guys are going to hate me. This is the series. This is the I Hate Meredith series. They don't want to connect with you. They don't want your questions. They don't want the soulfulness right now. No, they can't handle it. They'll let you know. They'll take their shell off and they'll let you know. But the ache comes from the pain, the agony comes from being shut out. And they're supposed to love you the most. So have you ever been shut out by a Cancer? It hurts. It hurts bad. And there is nothing you can do to break that shell. And they know it and they will still do it. Why is that, Cancers? Why is that? Can you leave a comment? Please, please, please help me shed light on this Cancerian protection, because they will do this even when the person truly and for real does not deserve it. They will do this when they just can't cope. My best friend, when I was like 7 years old, my best friend was a Cancer. We lived next door to each other. I basically, after school, lived at his house. His mom was also a Cancer. She fed me dinner like all the time. And her daughter became my pledge daughter, and her son was my best friend. And she, the mom and my best friend Jeff were Cancers. And Jeff was born on July 7th, just one day after my brother. And so we just had, Cancer birthday parties because my mom and Jeff's mom and my brother and Jeff, they were all Cancers. And so July's always been a very big month for me. And then my daughter was born on my brother's birthday, right? So I got a lot of Cancers. Anyways, I have hundreds of memories of Jeff. Sadly, he died at only 36 years old, and it was devastating. But I have thousands of memories of, I just have to tell you, I mean, I was Jeff's favorite friend for years, years and years and years, probably 15 years, maybe even longer, probably, probably till he was 30. I was his favorite friend. Oh my God. He shut me out. He was ice cold, like, I don't know, like 2 hours out of every day. Like if I would win at Monopoly, he would shut me out and not talk to me the next day. I'm not kidding. So this shows up even in childhood, right? Like if I beat him in Monopoly, or if I played a game a way he didn't want to play. We did tons of imaginary games. We put on big giant theatrical shows for our family. Like, I don't know, if I played a role that he wanted to play, he would shut me out. He'd make me pay, and then I'd have to figure out why. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's real. So that really truly does create an ache. Little did I know that he was just preparing me for a lifetime of Cancerian experiences. But I want to tell you that like their favorite game to play is like, guess how I feel? Guess why I'm disappointed? Guess why I'm mad at you? Guess what crime you committed? Guess what you did wrong? Guess what didn't go right today? I want you to guess. And so you're going to guess. Oh, is it because I beat you in Monopoly? No, no, it's not that at all. It's not that at all. Well, then what is it? Well, I'm not telling you. And if they are really unhealthy, they do this for their whole entire life as a grown ass man or woman. And, they like for you to guess. They want to throw you off. They don't actually really want you to know, because the real reason is so immature and it's so stupid that they would be too embarrassed to even admit why they are really mad at you. And they'll pretend to be getting along with you all while they're actually mad at you. I would be like, well, do you want to play Candyland now? Yeah, sure. I'll play. I'll play. But I just beat you at Monopoly, right? And you're mad at me for that. But do you want to play Candyland? Yeah, I'll play. I'll play. Well, no, I don't want to play if you're upset. No, no, I'm not upset. Why? Cancers? Why? I don't have Cancer in my chart, but I do have a pretty big fourth house. So I get it. But I'll just tell you that getting them to talk about the truthful reason why they're upset at you is pretty close to impossible. Cancers are very in touch with their own feelings, and they can even forget, I'm not joking, that you have any feelings. They actually think you don't have any feelings because theirs are so dramatic and so big and so overwhelming. It's like a cloud of smoke, just imagine, or steam, I should say. It's better. Steam is better because it's water, that they can't even see through to you. And sometimes I think they're afraid of their own like emotional enormity. And out of all 12 zodiac signs, I think cancers are by far the most defensive. They are defending themselves even before you open up your mouth. You will be saying, "Oh, you're wearing uh you're like, "Oh, you're wearing a blue dress today." Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wearing a blue dress. Why? Like, do you have a problem with it? Why? What's wrong? Am I not supposed to wear a blue dress? What's your problem with it? No, I didn't have any problem. I just noticed you were wearing blue. It's really pretty. I just was commenting on. Well, yeah, you don't like it? No, I like it. I like it. I like it. I love it. Okay, I love it. Yeah, okay. Okay. So another vice and virtue, painful pitfall dating a cancer, falling in love with a cancer is the weight of their memory. These people have memories like an elephant brain. So it's really beautiful, right? Like they're the historians of the relationship and they put together the scrapbook and when I took you to Italy and how much fun we had. And oh, but and they remember the wounds too. And they have all their wounds lined up like little tiny trophies in their own head. You forgot them. They didn't. These people will not forget those betrayals. And they have the scars to prove it. Yep, look at my scars. And they wear them like badges. And so I just want to tell you that those old pains, they actually stay with them. Now, listen, this is not true. This is not really true if this cancer of yours has a lot of Gemini, and oftentimes cancers have Gemini and Leo in their chart, a lot of it. So if they have um other planets in other signs, this could really change the Cancerian emotional makeup, if you will. Okay, so loving them sometimes means that you pay the price for their previous lover's wounds. So you're paying the bills for the wounds created by previous lovers. I'm going to change my lighting. And, you know, I feel like that you're almost, if you're involved with the cancer, you're also involved with all the ghosts of Christmas past. And they will remind you how their ex lover, left them, betrayed them. So you better not ever do that thing to them because that's my wound. Here's my wound. Here's what I'm afraid of. And you better not ever do that thing. And so you're like already scared, naked and afraid that you're going to mess up something that you didn't even think about. You would never have slashed their tires or stalked them or called their work and got them fired. You would have never done that. But now they're like paranoid, right? So they do not forget their previous sadness, their pain, their suffering, their agony, and that was inflicted upon them, and they will remind you over and over and over again, even if you're the one that didn't commit the crime. But if you did commit those crimes, oh my God, oh my God. Well, you will see who they really are. And even though you may have committed some crimes in your relationship and you've outgrown them and you've outgrown those tendencies to do that, they won't let you outgrow them. Nope, nope, nope. Their memory, like an elephant brain, remembers them. And therefore, they have a hard time, if not an impossible time, in seeing you in a new light. Okay. Painful thing number 4. They really, let's talk about home, 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 home. They're very clingy to their homes. Their loyalty is fierce. It's beautiful, isn't it? But this fierceness can become a box that you have to live in, maybe a cage, and they take away the key. Cancers need safety. They need familiarity, not quite like a Taurus, but they do resist change. They do resist adventure a little bit unless they have other planets. I have to say that, on this channel, I've been preaching, Now, hopefully you know me from my 2000 videos or how many ever it is. We don't do sun sign astrology, so you got to really look at the whole chart. But today, in today's video and in this series, I just wanted to give you guys review content for my advanced students. And I wanted to give you content where you could just take me on a walk around the block or on a long drive, and you could just listen and not have to look at the chart for complex, astrology techniques. And I wanted to make this just kind of simple and fun and easy, and open your mind up to the shadow side of each sign. And again, if you want me to do the virtuous videos, let me know in the comments and I will. But what I want you to know is that anything that threatens their home, their safety, and their security, you are going to see a literally like a barracuda come out. The ache comes about, it grows inside of the person who's involved with the cancer, is when you crave growth and experiences out there in the world, and you feel like you have to accommodate their comfort zone. You feel held hostage in their fear of the unknown, in their fear of the adventure, right? So my mom is a Cancer, and my dad was, he passed away. This isn't my stepdad, but my dad was a Gemini. And my dad got a job to travel around the world and work for the International Aviation Organization, the International Civil Aviation Organization with the United Nations, where he would then go on to build airports in third world countries. At that time, they were considered third world. And my mom was growing her roots, becoming actually the #1 school superintendent in the United States under Bill Clinton. And so she needed to stay firm and plant her seeds. But my dad had this great opportunity to really do great work. So did she, but she had to be the tree trunk. And so that's why their marriage didn't work out. He did not want to. He did not want to be held hostage to that small town, right? In that smaller life. He really needed to fly, and she did not want to do that. And so the conflict is real. And so before you start dating your Cancerian love, you need to ask them, are they compatible with your big dreams? Are you guys both domesticated? Do you guys both want to plant roots? Do you both want to build something, grow something here? So you got to get really honest about that, hopefully earlier rather than later. But I want to tell you that they really like to hone in. And I want to tell you, Cancerians are not always as depressed as they seem. Like their retreat does not necessarily mean I'm depressed. Like if I retreated like a Cancerian, you would be really worried about me. Like, what the hell is happening? Like if my husband came home and found me in bed for hours watching Netflix in blackout curtains, with a big bowl of popcorn doing absolutely nothing for a whole day, he would be worried sick. He'd be like, where did Meredith go? But you might come to realize that Cancerians, when they do that, they're not really depressed, but they need that retreat. They need the blackout curtains. They like to watch psychological horror films or documentaries about serial killers or psychological thrillers or cartoons that have deep messaging or rom-coms, or Disney Pixar films or something from their childhood, even like, we always watch The Sound of Music every year, or whatever your thing is, and eat kind of bad food, eat their feelings. They eat their feelings. They're not quite as much as a Taurus, but they are emotional eaters. And they need to wallow in their feelings. They need to feel all the feelings, and they're not really necessarily depressed. They just really need alone time to feel their feelings and escape from all that going on. And so I would like to say, like, don't take their need to be at home, to be reclusive, to, you know, plant seeds wherever we're at personally. You're just going to have to learn how to give your cancers sort of the space to foster themselves, nurture themselves, that one space that feels like home base. They live on home base. They don't live on all the bases. And by the way, I have to tell you, they only want space when they want space. They don't want space when you want them to have space or when you want to have space. Yeah, I hope you got that. Okay, number 5. Um, I would say the echo chamber of their emotions. Like it's just chronic emotions. Their A Cancer's pain echoes out into their action. And how I can describe it is like withdrawn silence. It's very loud. Their silence is screaming loud, unspoken expectations of you and the disappointment in you not meeting their expectations, and kind of soft digs or like a reproach about you. And you might find yourself just chronically trying to decipher their moods, searching for the storm that began in a whole nother month, like, oh, you're upset about what happened a month ago. You're punishing me over what I did when, 15 years ago. Like, what? So, and you're constantly searching for, like, where did you get your heart broken? Where did you find this upset? Where did you find it? And you will see that they feel all the feelings within just one simple day. Like I told you, my friend, he's just felt all the feelings. Like he shut me out probably for 90 minutes a day. I was like emotionally punished. We were little kids. He was very, very sensitive. And I didn't even realize he was that sensitive. Why? Because he had the shell of an armadillo. So in one simple day, you might see them laughing, crying, pouting, joking, then laughing, then retreating, then putting on a show and being the night's entertainment. So get ready for it. It is an enormous, colorful palette of every emotion under the sun just in 24 hours. And they can easily live inside of the archetype of the victim. Probably the only zodiac sign that can do it better than them living in the archetype of the victim is Pisces. But they can see themselves very easily as a victim of a system, a victim of a person, a victim of a situation. Like if they didn't get the thing they were supposed to get, it's because somebody else, oh, I did all the right things, I did all the right things. It's just the system's broken. Mm-hmm. Remember, the needy Cancer will nurture you. Yes, yes, this is the pitfall. So their love is a nurturing love, but it also can smother you. Cancers can become so enmeshed in caretaking you, they actually love caretaking you, that they lose themselves in it. And you, in turn, you may lose yourself in them and in their nurturing. Like they're so thoughtful. Their gifts are so thoughtful. Their meals are so thoughtful. The way they love you is so thoughtful. And where you forget where one person ends and the other person begins, it's called codependency. And you are highly aware of who's, I should say the Cancer person is highly aware of whose feelings are hurt in the room. And they're always tending to the other people's dramas, and I'll fix you and have a cookie, make it feel better. And it makes the Cancer feel important to solve other people's problems, to offer remedies, to be the savior, to be the nurse, to take care of, right? And I'll tell you though, they do that to deflect their own pain. So they take care of you, they do all your problems, they make you feel better, and they don't even work on themselves at all. It's really hard for Cancers also to not be chronically worried about something in their life, about something in your life. The Cancerian person in your life is worried. I don't know why. Or if you have a lot of planets in the fourth house, it's like the worry wart fourth house. It's almost like Virgo. I think Virgo is a little bit more worried than Cancer, but Cancer is emotionally worried and Virgo is critically worried. So if you have Cancer Virgo combination, you have a lot of emotional anxiety, social anxiety, work anxiety, performance anxiety. And this is the giant worry wart. So are you a Cancer with Virgo, and can you relate to this? And if so, will you leave your story, because it helps grow this idea. It helps other people grow compassion if we can understand you. So let's talk about number 7. Oh, the sting of their sensitivity. It works two ways. Okay. Like everything, this is the pain. This is the pitfall. Words can cut. And words can also, sharp words can cut really, really deeply. And those words, those cuts heal slowly. So I want you to know this. What Cancer can say to you, you cannot say to them. Nope, they're too defensive. We'll talk about the defensiveness in a minute. But even casual remarks will wound a Cancer deeply. I'm not kidding. Leaving you like walking on eggshells, like walking on eggshells through every conversation because you're afraid to create another clash. You're afraid to create emotional, dramatic reactions. You're afraid of all their tears. You're afraid of their creating melancholy, being the discord in their life. You're afraid to upset them. And they make you that way. They make you be very, very afraid of my emotional sensitivity. Yes. And they will use that as a weapon. Oh my gosh. Do you guys hate me? Because we have the whole entire zodiac to do. And this is only the fourth sign. So, yeah, buckle in, buckle in. Tell me what you think about this series. I want to know. And I also want to know what your video ideas are. So if you want to submit a video idea, don't leave it in the comment, but send it to teamsoulnavigation@gmail.com and send us your video ideas and I will do them. If I can, if it really resonates with me. But let's keep going. I digress. Cancers have a very hard time leading with either diplomacy, strategy, or logic. And when they're in an emotional situation, they cannot play. So I'm not going to say names, but I have this Cancer in my life, and I coached this Cancer in my life to approach a situation, removing the pain, stepping out of the pain, and handling it very diplomatically and very strategically. Hell to the no. Could they do that? Nope, nope, nope. They showed up into the situation like huffing and puffing and like this. They could not play the role that would actually make everything better for their advantage. For their advantage, they would rather sabotage the opportunities to make it better. They would rather do that by showing up angry, mad, pouty, revealing all the hurts, aches, and pains, because that's how the other person would hurt the most. They didn't want to wear a persona to advance the situation through diplomatic tact, grace, or objectivity or strategy. So Cancers cannot do strategy. They are so emotional. They are so emotional. They're just going to do what their feelings want them to do, even if it ruins everything. I know. It's so painful. It's very painful. So they have a very difficult time suppressing their feelings and leading with diplomacy to get the very thing that they want. They'd rather ruin it all. Like a Scorpio, I'd rather ruin you and not have you than win you back by suppressing my feelings, even for 5 minutes. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to strategize my emotions. Nope, my emotions are here for everybody to feel. Yep. So, and I'm going to pretend like I'm not feeling them, but you will be feeling them. And I'm going to pretend that I didn't notice that I was giving that off. Right. So you can have, if you have a very touchy Cancer on your hands, they take offense very, very easily, especially if you disagree with them, if you're not, in alignment with what they're feeling, if you're not feeling what they're feeling. And they can even feel like you're an enemy or you're out to get them. And they can even feel like they're a victim of you. So they will defend against whatever you're going to say before you even say it. And they have a difficult time seeing themselves objectively. I don't even know if they can do it. They might even scurry away like a little hermit crab and live under a rock. But really, really, what they're doing, they're plotting their next move. And they are better emotional manipulators than anybody else in the entire zodiac. But it's not emotional manipulators like through strategic thinking. No, it's just they're going to rearrange the emotions and make you feel things, right? So there is strategy, but it comes from the emotion. It doesn't come from the mind like a Gemini or a Virgo. No. Mm-mm. Okay, number 8. It is the pull and the weight of their family. So family tradition, it's very sweet, isn't it? Family tradition and history means everything to Cancer, but their ties to the past can keep them and you in the past, chained to old patterns, making it hard to build a future free of inherited truths, inherited pains, inherited situations in which they were the victim. And they just transpose their past into the present and the future. And you will see that their family is critically important to them, even if they don't like them. Even if they hate their mom, which is very rare, their mom is still important. So hating their mom becomes important. If hopefully they love their mom or love their family, but even if they hate their family, that's front and center. Hating my family, you need to hate my family too. If you're not going to hate my family, you can't like my family and I hate my family. You can't love my mom and I hate my mom. You can't love my dad and I hate my dad. Nope. If I hate my mom, you have to hate my mom. But you can't hate her more than I hate her. A lot of rules with this, a lot of rules. So the weight of the pull of the family, the weight of the family, it's a really, really BFD. And so you have to hold the family grudges that they hold. You have to hold the family grudges that they've been holding for years. Yep. Like, oh, my mom's evil. Okay, your mom's evil. I'm on board with your evil mom, right? So I'm on board with believing your mom is evil. Yeah, you better feel exactly what they feel about their family. Nothing different. Don't try to grow their perspective. Don't try to get them to, hey, just forgive your mom. She didn't mean to do that terrible thing to you. Nope, 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 nope. That is bye bye. See ya. Sorry, Charlie, you're out. You are out. You lose. You absolutely lose. But you have to also love their family, or at least their mothers, or whoever the most nurturing and influential person is in their family. You have to love them like they love them too. You can't also, if they love their mom, you cannot not love their mom. If they love their family, you can't not love their family. So you need to be exactly on board. And you need to know that they're probably more likely going to do their family traditions and their family holidays than your family. So if you've got a big family attachment and they have a big family attachment, this is going to be a problem. Find this out early, early. And it's a very big deal to Cancer. This might not be as big of a deal to other signs, like an Aquarius. Like, I don't care. We can do your family. Sure. They're nicer anyway. It might be like that. Or, once in a while, if we could see my family, that'd be great. But their family is absolutely critical. And they're probably going to do their family traditions. So you eat ham, they eat turkey. You're going to be eating turkey. So they're going to have a very difficult time compromising in this arena unless they've got Aquarius or Gemini or Sagittarius, something else in their chart. And they will raise their children the way they were raised. So let's hope they were raised well, because they're going to raise their children exactly like they were raised. They might do it a little bit better, but you will see that they're going to do it pretty much the way it was done unto them. And they will have a hard time implementing your childhood traditions, your parenting styles into their children's lives. So most Cancers, not all Cancers, but most Cancers want to have children. Not all, not all, not all, especially if you have a Gemini moon or Aquarius moon, you might not want to. But if you don't want to have children, or be part of a family unit, and you just want to live off the grid and you want to go out, have your, live off the grid, live in the forest, whatever, in the middle of nowhere, and they come with you, you better plan on getting a lot of animals, or at the very least, trees to love, or flowers, or a garden, or something, because they need a brood to love. They need things to take care of. They need things to nurture. And if it's just you and them out in the middle of nowhere, Cancers could really struggle with that, because they have to caretake. They absolutely have to nurture, foster, and caretake, and they can't just do that for themselves. And so they need a brood. You're going to need to get a bunch of ducklings out there and off the grid in the middle. Go by a lake so you can have some ducklings and some birds and a bird feeder, something for the Cancerian to nurture and to love. And if for whatever reason you don't like their family or their family traditions that they come from, you're going to have to be very, very, very clever on figuring out how you can actually influence the situation and how you can move them away and create a new concept of family. You're going to have to be very, very, very gingerly diplomatic. You're going to have to kind of quietly dance them into a new position without them noticing. Okay, number 9, their fear of abandonment is really exaggerated. At the core, Cancers, like all crabs, they feel secure. They need security, and they feel secure, like in a family unit, in a tribe. And yet And they probably fear abandonment the most out of any zodiac sign. So if you have a bunch of fourth house planets, really take a look at your fears around abandonment. So this is why they're very defensive and very sensitive. This is why they're taking the emotional temperature at all times. At all times. They walk into the door very quietly, usually, because they are taking the temperature before they impose themselves. They're literally like, up against the wall and pop around to see what's going on. They don't just throw themselves in usually. They usually wait to see what the temperature is, unless they've been around you long enough where they can predict your moods and your moods and your moves. But even the slightest of slights can have them just spiral out. They can just spiral out questioning, did you ever love me? Is this really worth it? Like, why are you upset? Like, they burnt the hamburger meat. You probably spoke too loudly or directly about it. And they wonder if you want a divorce. Like they go to 0 to 100 very fast. That's a little exaggerated, but not really. I mean, they're kind of waiting for you to dump them. They're kind of waiting for you to want to leave. And so they create codependency by loving you, by nurturing you, by fostering you, by meshing into you, by solving your problems, by being all up in your drama. So the pain in this situation, when they're questioning your love because you escalated a little bit too loud and too fast and too direct over the burnt hamburger meat, is when you long to reassure them, but they lock their fears into a chamber, right? And they won't let you say sorry. They won't let you comfort them. They won't let you in. They will lock you out and put you in timeout, even if you don't deserve it. Even if you're like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I yelled too loudly. I didn't mean to, right? So that's the painful part. So I want to tell you guys, if you want to learn deeper astrology, if you want to learn about your whole entire chart, your rising sign, your moon sign, your Mercury sign, your Venus, what it all means, and the entire mosaic of you, the entire kaleidoscope of your soul, you could go get my starter package. You get your gorgeous natal chart and you get an in-depth report about all of your planetary positions. And it is so, so good because we do deeper astrology on my channel. Today, we're having fun and we're just looking at the shadow side of Cancer, but you really have to look at all the planets. So saying that, you can get that report and you can go see all of my master classes. I have a Virgo masterclass, a Scorpio masterclass, and a Pisces masterclass. Those are really, really, really deep and in depth. They are so, so delicious and so good. You can also learn deeper astrology with me on my, Astrology 101 playlist. Go start binge watching and start learning deeper astrology because it's more accurate. And there's no two cancers really alike because every chart is different. But this is the Cancerian part of your chart when it is not functioning well, when it is unhealthy, when it's in its lowest expression. So cancers, let me just tell you, they know how to make you feel instantly comfortable and warm. They usually have a great sense of humor. They're very funny. They get people. They are generous with their spirits and they have a compassionate heart. It sounds so great, right? They can even make their whole entire calendar revolve around your busy schedule. So cancers can make your friends fall in love with them too. They can create a beautiful love shack for the two of you, a beautiful home, and they can be the most devoted companion you've ever dreamed of. There's just one price, and this is Hotel California. You will never, ever, ever, ever dream of betraying your Cancerian or leaving. No, you won't. And they can leave you, but you cannot leave them. Period. End of sentence. And if you do leave, they will plot to get you back. You won't really be leaving. So once you're in with a Cancer, it's the Black Widow spider web. Yeah, you will be eaten before you will be leaving. Cancers are so fearful of abandonment, they can create codependency as fast as you can toast an English muffin. Yes. And they are the masters of emotional manipulation. And I'll just tell you, if you leave, you will pay the price forever. If you break your Cancer's heart, you will pay the price forever. Cancers hold grudges for eternity, eternity, just like the soul, eternity. Remember, Jody Arias, OJ Simpson, Lizzie Borden, all cancers. Number 10, the depth, the unseen depth. It's beautiful. No matter how deeply you dive, there are the corners of a Cancerian soul that you will never be able to reach. You will never be able to see clearly. Their vulnerability is an invitation, it is a seduction and a barrier. It is also a wall, and it will leave you aching for an intimacy that's always a little bit hidden. It's not like Gemini where it's out of reach, or Aries where it's out of reach. It's like they won't reveal it to you. They've got it. They're in there. They're intimate within their own souls. They just won't give it to you. And so I think cancers, more than any other zodiac sign, create emotional confusion. Their unseen depths, their emotional depth, the unseen parts of them create deep emotional confusion. So like fire signs don't stand a chance at understanding the depth of the Cancerian emotions. You know, fire signs cannot even really go into those crevices. If you are a fire sign, but you're with a Cancer, go look at what other water signs you have. And that's why you can get in there. But the fire just can't get into it that deeply. I also want to say Cancers have mastered the RBF face. They're probably, and they also have really like ice cold stares. Yeah, ice cold stares. I would say Capricorn can match Cancer's RBF, but Cancers have really got it mastered. And one thing, Cancers are misunderstood. They are not weak. Just because they're emotional doesn't mean they're weak. They're actually here to work on their emotions, and they are very steely when they need to be, not letting anybody in, hiding behind the shell, right? So a lot of people misunderstand them and think they're weak when actually they're extraordinarily strong, even too strong and impenetrable. And so Cancers have a lot of patience, and they are very determined to get what they want, to turn the tables into their favor. Let me tell you, loving a Cancer can be deeply, deeply fulfilling because they have an unwavering devotion. They have a nurturing heart. They can create a sense of warmth, and they can create an emotional security for you, which feels like home. Now, I want to tell you, I want to invite you to please become a subscriber, like this video so it gets pushed out. And 60% of you are watching my videos but not subscribed. Would you please subscribe and help me build and grow my channel so more people can understand real astrology, deep astrology? And I would also love for you to consider joining my channel and becoming a member. It only costs 10 cents a day. But what it does is it allows me to build more content for you and teach you deeper astrology. So I hope you'll consider joining. Definitely like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. And wherever you are in the world, from my house here in Seattle, I wish you the very, very best. Take good care.